Hello, comadres, and welcome to the Moon Report. My name is Marlene. I am the modern mystic, your resident moon goddess, and I am here to give you the full moon report in Gemini. I am so happy to be here. As always, thank you for being here with me. And if you're new and you're watching this, welcome. I love this space. This is one of my favorite spaces to be. And I really welcome you to join us, to tap in, to lean into this community, Las Comadres, in a way where you can show your vulnerability and still, feel really good about yourself and really confident about what you're sharing. And I love this moon space because after the moon report, we kind of hang out and talk. And I am always in awe as to how the comadres lean into this space. I want to acknowledge all of you that show up here live week after week and lean into this space with your full vulnerability and your courage. Thank you for being brave and I don't know, just amazing. I always feel good to be here, so thank you. I want to get started with this moon because Gemini has made me really chatty today. So let's get going. It is happening at 5:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are turning a corner here with this full moon. Collectively, we are turning a corner. And those of us that are not sure exactly how this is feeling or how to express that, look, this is one thing that I can say for sure that we probably all have or all share in common. We can't go back. We just can't go back. We, may not know how to express exactly where we are right now, but we sure as hell cannot go back. And I know that this can feel a little disconcerting, a little uncomfortable. But uncomfortable is the name of the game, really. And it's really when you're doing, when you're uncomfortable, not always, but most of the time it is because you're doing a really powerful thing and you're making a really powerful decision. And this could feel like a decision moment. It's the last full moon of the year. And Gemini is helping us refine what we want. This is happening through the moon's conjunction to Mars. Mars is a planet of let's go, let's get it done. What are we waiting for? And Mars is in retrograde in Gemini. So there is a pullback where it feels like Mars can't really do its thing. And it is because Gemini and this moon are refining what you're putting out there, are refining your message, are refining the way you communicate it, your expression, and your psychology, your personal philosophy of life and how you want to live it. And more of us feel like we're turning a corner here and we're feeling like maybe we actually can pull this off. Like, we may just got this. Like, what if everything goes right? How about that? And this is the season of Sag, and Jupiter is in Pisces, and we're feeling spiritual, and we're feeling yummy, and we're feeling festive, and we want to hang out with people. And this is a social moon and a chatty moon, and you want to express all these things that you're feeling deep in your heart. And there are fears deep in your heart, and for those of us that have trouble following through, like saying that we do something, we say something and then we're like, oh, we didn't follow through with that. We're kind of done with that. We're kind of done with that. And if that speaks to you, this is a great moon to really release those things Release that judgment, release that idea, release that belief that you don't follow through, or that, yeah, I want that, but is that the truth? Just because I think that, is that the truth? And what we don't realize here is that we create the truth for us, our reality. This is a holographic space. And what we put out is what is reflected back to us. So where is it that you can make a decision? Because Mars is here to help you make that decision. It wants you to make the decision. It wants you to make the decision now. And you may feel a little bit of urgency. So if you don't have clarity around where you want to, what direction you want to move towards, or where is it that you want to focus your energy, then really use the illumination of this full moon to really face whatever darkness that is, or whatever fear that is, that keeps you in that space. This is a great moon for that kind of release work, ritualistic, ceremonial, personal ceremonies at home. Like, get creative with this, comadres. It doesn't have to be a big hoopla, a ritual. I always want to give you that kind of practical advice, because some of the most significant rituals in my life have been a personal ritual that probably has taken me like 7 minutes. And all of a sudden, it has changed the direction of whatever that thing was and my life, ultimately. So don't deny, no, that's not the word. Don't underestimate your power. Don't underestimate your power. We were meant to feel good here in this space, believe it or not. And the pain part and the suffering part, all of that is part of it. To get to that place where we feel our best. Because when we feel our best, we do our best. And when we do our best, we want to go and pursue our purpose. And then we also want to rest, because in pursuing our purpose, we really want to take care of ourselves. And then we start thinking more consciously. And this just creates better humans. And this work is subtle and powerful. But if you haven't invited it into your life, into your daily life yet, I want to invite you to do that. I want to encourage you to work the subtle magic of daily life, creating routines, simple routines that make you feel good, that spark and ignite you inside. So I wanted to talk about two different things, but I don't know if I want to talk about Mercury retrograde just yet at the end of the month. So let's talk about Venus in Capricorn, because I still really haven't gotten over the last Mercury retrograde. I have to be freaking honest with you, okay? When this one creeped around, I was like, ¿qué? I was like, this soon? No, it cannot be. So we're going to leave that one for later, because Venus moving into Capricorn really soon. I think it's at 27 degrees now. So that is just going to really light a fire. And Mercury has moved into Capricorn and will go into retrograde in Capricorn. And it's at 1 degree today, or at the time of this full moon. And, Venus here is propelled to move forward. She's driven and she's focused to move forward, focused on action, on inspired action that is going to move her towards her mighty I am presence, and is going to take everything that she's learned and apply it. So from this full moon to Mercury retrograde, it will be, in my opinion, a highly productive time. If you can harness that Venusian energy and take in like really wanting to just help others and like really doing inspired action and follow through on it, this is the time to really, that Capricornian energy is coming in, and our next new moon is in Capricorn when we go into Capricorn season. But Sag season is really asking us to soar to new heights, to reach for new horizons, and to let our fear, Sag is fire, okay? It's not afraid. It's the adventure of the zodiac. It's not afraid to explore, to take risks. And with Jupiter in Pisces, now in Sag season, we're being asked to take big leaps and to expand. Now, will it be quick and painless? Absolutely not. Will it be easy? Not a chance. Are you going to go through ups and downs? Probably. Is it going to be worth it? 100%. Because I always try to remind you, comadres, embrace the release, like embrace that darkness. The one that says, oh, yeah, right, why am I even going to say it if I never follow through on anything? Or, oh, sure, yeah, I want to write a book, but me write a book, an author, whatever. And really, that is your mind playing tricks on you. And I think Venus in Capricorn is here to show you, hey, look, follow my energy. Like, do the thing. Do it gracefully, get a manicure, because Venus is very, it's the goddess of love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, get a manicure, look good, get a new dress, and go do the thing. Because we're here to, in Capricorn, go to the peak. Go to our mighty I am presence. So expand, reach for your dreams. The time is now. All of those things, hoping to inspire you to really, really know that you can dream big. Like, you don't have to keep it small and realistic. Shoot for the freaking moon. Shoot there. And then, if you land in the stars, por ahí, really close by, you're still going to enjoy it. Now, the trick is continue to move forward while you wait for it to come. Continue to harness that feeling of how it's going to feel when it's here and when you get to enjoy it. Because if you were a manifestation, wouldn't you want to arrive to a party? Or you're going to arrive to somebody like, oh my God, you're really here? No, you're going to arrive to the party where it feels good. And sometimes I feel like we're afraid to feel good, like we're doing something wrong if we feel good. And I dare to say that some of us are even attached to reaching for the drama every time we feel good so that it can take us out of that place. And that's cool. We all suffer from the human condition. But when we bring awareness to certain darknesses, then now we're illuminated by the light, aren't we? And it's all out there. Don't be afraid of that. Work with that. Bring love to that. Bring compassion. Bring forgiveness. Bring a spiritual practice. Bring a yoga class. Call a comadre. Show up to cafecito. Show up here to this space. Lean into your local communities. Lean into sisterhood. Lean into what makes you feel welcomed and good. This is a very social moon, so don't be surprised if you end up having a social night or a social weekend. Have fun. And yes, Mercury is going into retrograde on the 29th of December through January. Oh, I forgot. Maybe a comadre that's live can look that up really quick and put it in the chat for me. I think it's January 13th. No, I'm really guessing. So yeah, Mercury in retrograde is going to be in Capricorn, and then it's going to, do its thing for a few weeks. So I'm really not going to get into that heavy right now because we'll probably talk about that, later. And but it's always a time for the newer comadres that are here. It's always a time where we really want to get our ducks in a row before we get there. Like if there's stuff that you needed to pay, if there's a really important legal document that needs to get out, if January 18th is the last day of Mercury retrograde. So right now, Mercury is already in what we call a pre-shadow phase. It's going to, it's getting ready to do its thing. And when it does do its thing, it just, makes communication a little bit, challenging, depending on where it is, which is Capricorn. It's, maybe creating confusion in at a larger scale of systems that are in place that are ready to be reviewed, relooked at, restructured, and then we're moving into Sag, it moves from Capricorn into Sagittarius. So we might be really, solid on our truth, and we might find ourselves wanting to shove it down other people's throats. And this is a placement for me that is phenomenal sometimes. Like when I go through like spiritual healers on Instagram or whatever, and I notice that, we all try to preach to accept everybody's truth. And then when there's placements like this in Sagittarius, you'll find that a lot of them are just stuck on their own truth, and I could see that playing out. And I'm like, okay, why is that being reflected back to me? And then I find it as an opportunity to look back and be like, okay, where am I doing that in my spiritual practice or in my personal life? And really embracing that darkness and then finding it so that I could release it. So this is the type of work that I want you to think about tonight, okay? This is the type of work that I want you to try to harness and really focus on your expansion and your ability to dream big and take big leaps. And if you're not doing it or finding it difficult, then finding the support system that could then hold you into that, hold you accountable, support you through the process of what you really want to create. Because I'm telling you, the time is now. The time is now. And then when Mercury goes into retrograde, things get confusing. So use this time. I wanted to mention that it was on the 29th so that you can use this time to get your ducks in a row. Get all of the things that you need to do, get your thoughts out, get some clarity, plan, because this is what astrology is for. This is why I come on here every 2 weeks to tell you all these tips, so that you can use them in your practical life. This is how we create that magic. So if you haven't done that already, like I said before, I invite you on this full moon to do so, to begin to implement small steps that really lead to huge change. And I've seen it in my life. I've experienced it. So that's why I'm telling you. So enjoy this delicious full moon. Go have some fun. Go socialize. And really, really, remember that the sky's the limit. There's no reason to hold back now. So thank you, comadres. Thank you so much. As always, I am here for you. Anything you need, if you want to know how these, energies and these planets affect you in your own life, then we can always have a natal reading and, a transit reading or something that can bring some clarity. Trust me, with astrology, it's beautiful because I find it to be the language of light, and it just shines upon certain things that really, really helps to know. So if you're curious about that, find me on Instagram at The Modern Mystique, or in marlenemenendez.com, my website, or my networks if you're a comadre. Just DM me, send me a message. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye, friends.